John Katana pulled us aside and told us, you people sound amazing and you have the potential to have an amazing career, but you don't have any culture in you.
You're the one who told, one of the things that we had talked about is the same way you told, what do you call these guys? Five Alive.
Yeah.
Hey guys, how about you just be singing in, African? You told the same thing to Sauti Sol.
Yeah.
When they came to you,
they didn't come to me. I went to them.
You went to them?
Yeah, I had a show at the village market.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah, I had a show at the village market, and then I hear these nice voices in the corner. They were singing to themselves and friends. So I went to them, and I just stood behind them. And they were singing and singing. When they stopped kidogo, I interjected. I just said, habari zenu, nini, nini, I'm Katana. I said, you guys have wonderful voices. Awesome voices. Why don't you record? And I started talking to them. And the most bubbly one, I stand to be corrected, is Bien. Hiyo tutafanya bana nini. And we striked it off. I said, listen, there's a project going on, the Spotlight on Kenyan Music at the Alliance Francaise. Hii kadi yangu, you can call me or you just come there and register. But I told them before I left, I said, you are sounding so awesome, but here's the thing. I want to hear you sound the same doing your own music or an African song in an African style. And I left.
And then we went to Village Market. This actually was in Form 4 that time. Before we actually...
Nisa, hebu tuambie hii story.
Poleni, tukiwa Form 4 that time, we went to Village Market for a singing competition. In that singing competition, the judge was John Katana from the Mushrooms.
What?
He had us singing on that day. He pulled us to the side, and we won the competition. So that was actually our first ever award.
But you went as who? You're still nameless.
Voice in the light. As Voice in the Light, yeah. John Katana pulled us aside and told us, you people sound amazing and you have the potential to have an amazing career, but you don't have any culture in you. You're singing Boys to Men songs, mnaimba ngoma za watu wa majuu. You have to bring yourselves back to your roots. So go and write a couple of Swahili songs and come back. Give me a call. So we switched numbers. We wrote some Swahili songs, we gave him a call. He called us for an audition at the Alliance Francaise for something called Spotlight on Kenyan Music.
No way.
We went for the audition, we passed. He gave us bus fare. We went to record our first ever song.
No way.
The three of us now. Me, Savara and Chimano. That's when we called ourselves Sauti. Because everywhere we went to sing, guys were like, mavijana kona sauti poa. So tukajita Sauti. Hey, Sauti, what are you doing? Hey, Sauti, hey, everywhere. Because we were just in every open mic, everything, Then Alliance funded our first recording on that project. And we performed with the Mushrooms at Alliance Francaise for the launch of that Spotlight on Kenyan Music project. And it was so beautiful because I grew up watching John Katana.
Yep.
I grew up adoring this guy. And he's the guy who opened the doors for us.
That's insane.
To get into the music industry. So the whole of 2006, when we were still rehearsing in the park and doing stuff, we were also part of that Spotlight on Kenyan Music project.
That's when now they came to do it.
They came to Alliance, they registered. Them Mushrooms was the first band that was backing up all the artists. So Sauti Sol got to perform with the band for the first time with them Mushrooms. And that time I'd asked them, what do you call yourselves? They dilly-dally and they say, we call ourselves Voices. So at Alliance, I called Bien aside. I said, Bien, Voices, yes. Lakini jiiteni Sauti. Jiiteni Sauti. Because you have the voices. Sauti in Europe, they'll ask, what? And I gave him the example. We are them Mushrooms, not mushrooms. Not the mushrooms. That's how the name Sauti came. So initially there was Sauti.
Yes, not Sauti Sol.
Sauti Sol was a bit later.
Yes, now.
Yeah. That's why they like to say, Katana discovered the mushrooms. God discovered the mushrooms through, discovered Sauti Sol through Katana.
That is an incredible story. Oh man.